Hi, this is Kira Turner. Over this past semester, business communications has definitely made me grow in more ways than one. I'm majoring in psychology, so a lot of my classes just consisted of me writing long papers, conducting research studies, and basically just being very removed from the class and just sitting throughout lectures. And business communications has definitely been a very different experience than that. I'm minoring in business, and this is my first business class I'm taking, and I've really loved how it's a smaller class and how I get to interact with everyone in class more, whether it's through simulations or just class discussions that we have, especially because it's such a small class. I get to know everyone and I get to be way more involved than I would have in Florida State, where it's just big lecture halls, and you really don't talk to your classmates other than study groups or maybe going to the library with them, etc. So yeah, I feel like this style of classroom has definitely helped me learn better. I feel like I am very much a learner who I need to be interacting in class to really understand a concept. And so yeah, this has definitely helped me learn a lot better than I would at Florida State. Compared to week one, I feel like I've really grown so much throughout the class, definitely with the simulations. I'm someone who I feel like I came into this class already being very comfortable with public speaking and just talking in class in general, because that was a big thing that I did in high school. I was very involved in student government. I was vice president of the school. I did a lot of things that required me to talk in person. I also worked as a teacher with children for 4 years, so I am always up in front of a class talking. But simulations were definitely a different version of that, but it was a more intense version, I feel because where I was so used to just being able to speak and voice my opinions and wait for someone else to talk back to me, simulations were more everyone's talking at once and you just have to find your way into that conversation. And I feel like I constantly needed to think on my feet rather than already having knowledge beforehand, because when I would go into talking or when I would go into teaching, I would already have my lesson plan and I would know what I'm talking about, and I would know the questions that were probably going to be asked back towards me. But during the simulations, it literally could have gone anywhere, and it took so many different turns that I wasn't expecting in both simulations. I feel in the first simulation I did really well, and that was fine. But I feel in the second simulation, I wasn't as prepared as I could have been. I think I took the wrong perspective, and I feel I could have taken a stronger perspective and then talked more during the simulation, or at least more than what I did. But yeah, I feel this has definitely been the most challenging thing for me in business communications, but honestly, I've appreciated it because I've said, I haven't really have been forced to speak in that type of environment. But being forced to, I feel will definitely prepare me for the real world and situations where I will actually have to do that, whether it be in a job or just anywhere. What I'm most proud of basically throughout this whole semester is honestly just me for taking this step into business and into learning more about business, PR crises, how to handle them, because I've said, I'm majoring in psychology and I never really took any business related classes in high school, and this is something completely new to me, and this is now my minor, and this is my first business class I'm taking, I've said. And so honestly, I'm just proud of myself for taking this step, because it was definitely a little nerve-wracking, because the majority of the psychology classes are very similar, so I know what I'm getting into. But for business communications, I really had no idea what the class was going to be about, or what the assignments were going to be or that there were going to be simulations. But I feel I handled it really well, and honestly, some of the parts that I'm not so proud of, I have learned and grown from, and they can help me take more business classes in the future. Looking ahead, I definitely will use the skills that I've learned in business communications definitely throughout my career. I was really not expecting to learn so much from this class, just from one semester, especially studying abroad. But I feel this has been definitely one of the most impactful classes I've had over the past 2 years in college. And I really hope to open my own occupational therapy practice one day. and run my own business. So I feel like knowing like the communication skills and how to handle PR crises and like marketing wise, everything that has to do with business, and honestly just talking to coworkers and learning how to like handle those types of situations where like you really don't know what the other person is going to say to you or what the rebuttal is going to be or like how chaotic the conversation can go. But like knowing how to stay calm and like how to like react to those situations, I feel like that's what I've learned from business communications. And yeah, I'm super grateful for this class, and I'm really happy that I took it this semester.